10 camera accessories under $25 that I'm using all the time. Number one of my list is this one. This is a part of a set, but you can buy this separately for about $15. This is the Falcam F38 quick release system plate. It's compatible with the Peak Design camera clips and ACCESORIES, but the Peak Design plates cost about $40 and this is only $15. I use this little guy on everything. I use it on my lights, I use it on my cameras, and use it everywhere. Ever since switching to this plates on all my gear, I swear I've been producing more content than ever before because this little guy just makes my life so much easier, and this is what it's all about in this list. These right here are separately also under $15, either the super clamp from SmallRig or the magic arm from SmallRig. The magic arm just allows you to build all sort of different things either on your camera or mount this to a pole or to your tripod or something else. I've previously have this one mounted, the super clamp mounted on a tripod, and then mounted the magic arm directly into the super clamp to have a microphone even closer to the subject than just on top of the camera. So both of these accessories has come in handy so many times for me, both shooting my own videos but also shooting videos at work. The next one on the list is this video light. See, normally video lights, it's much more than $25, but I keep one super cheap that can fit batteries, and this one I just can bring everywhere I want to. It's not the best quality light, let's be honest, but if you reflect it on a white surface or something else, then you can get an okay light for less than $25. And I actually have my main key light right here is a bigger version of this one, and it's about $50 or $60. It doesn't have to be more than that. If you have no lights and if you're a complete beginner, start off with a cheap light and learn how to angle the lights and how the light can make different video styles. The next on my list is something that I'm recently fallen in love with because I have never really been a fan of Pro Mist filters, or so I thought I wasn't, but I have one, and this I just bought my second Pro Mist filter. The other one I have is a 1.4. This is a 1.8 filter with just gives such a soft diffusion. It's hard to see in this light, but these Pro Mist filters, especially when it's dark, just gives just a bit more character to the video, in my opinion. And I bought this from KNF, and it was less than $25. This leads me to the next one on the list. I have this variable ND, which I'm using all the time. It's also from KNF. It's also less than $25, but I also have a lot of GOBE ND filters that's not variable, that's also less than $25. And I know there is ND filters that is much better than this, but that costs like more than 10 times more than this one does. This is about $20, and some would say it gives a green tint to the image, and some would say it makes the image not as great. But as a complete beginner that I consider myself, and as a YouTuber, if you create YouTube content, one of the cheap ND filters can be good enough for you. An ND filter allows you to open up wider on your aperture and get these blurry backgrounds even though it's bright outside, which is why the ND filter is one of the best purchases under $25, especially for beginners. Before going on with the next 5 on the list, what are some of the accessories that you use every day? I sure would like to know in the comments below. Thank you. Let's go on with the next one on the list. I have extra batteries as my number one. I only spent $10 on 2 extra batteries for my Sony CV1, but I can also buy bigger batteries for less than $25 each. And you can get batteries for even the Sony flagship cameras, the NPFC. This battery, of course not the original Sony ones, but you can get good quality batteries for less than $25. And let's be honest, having an extra battery can be a lifesaver when you are out there shooting, even though if you're not shooting on a job, but let's just say you're traveling and you're shooting videos, or you're just taking photos of your kids anywhere, an extra battery will always be a good purchase. Number 7 on the list is a studio light reflector slash diffuser thing. I bought this for just over $25, but there is smaller versions that you can get for less than $25. Number 8 on my list is a base plate. I can show you this one I have on the Sony CV1. This is also something I surely can't live without on this. There's one particular reason why I can't live without this, because if you are mounting everything on your Sony CV1, then you can't get to the battery and the SD card if you have a tripod mounted. You have to detach it from the tripod every time you want to access the SD card, which is a hassle. But getting this on the camera is really a great investment. Also, I have another story as to why you need a base plate. On this camera I have sitting right here, I had mounted something on the base plate to the camera, but I couldn't get it off the mount again, but the screw was screwed in so tight that I couldn't get the screw off. Luckily, it was screwed into the base plate of the camera instead of screwed into the camera, so that base plate literally saved my camera for not having a permanent screw sitting inside it. I have thrown out the base plate because I couldn't reuse that anymore. Some base plate also allows you, like this one, to mount your camera vertically if you want to shoot this way on a tripod. And I also have a bonus tip on this camera I have sitting right here. I have a cold shoe adapter because on the Sony A6000 series there's a flip screen behind it. If you have a microphone on top of it, the microphone is going to cover the flip screen, and you can just move this to the side with a cold shoe adapter. Number 9 on my list is this SD card holder right here. This fits 12 memory cards, actually also even more if you count all the micro SD card slots underneath. This is good for having all the SD cards so much easier to find. I actually use this not when traveling, just having in my drawers because it's easier to find my SD cards. But this is also easier if you have SD cards in your bag. I have lost SD cards for having them laying around in my bag. This was only about $9 and surely being one of the best investments I have done this year. Because if you ever lost just one SD card, then you know how important this is. It is also durable and it protects your SD cards when traveling. And for number 10 on my list, I have 3 things that I've gotten as a part of other sets that I'm using all the time. The first thing is this tripod adapter for smartphones to put your smartphone on a tripod. The next thing is this little thing here to screw all these base plates into your cameras. I'm using this much more than I would ever imagine. And the third thing that I got for free, I'm using all the time, is this leveling tool right here. And I've seen some clips that you can get this with a cold shoe mount, so you can put it on your camera. And I have 2 bonus things that I think is a good purchase that I don't have on me right now. Number 1 is a filter bags for your camera filters, so they are protected in your bag and know where you can find them. And number 2 is this ball head mini tripod from Ulanzi called the MT16. It's both a selfie arm, a tripod. It has a ball head, cold shoe, and all in one. And this cold shoe is so cool for attaching a microphone and not being away of the camera screen, or just attaching an extra light. I just bought a tripod, like a mini tripod, and I just saw this after I bought my tripod. If I'd seen this beforehand, then I would have purchased this instead. And then I have 2 things more, because there's 2 items I really regret buying that was too cheap. And these were thrown out after the second time using it because they just broke immediately. Number 1 is an Amazon Basics tripod. One of the legs just broke. That was one of the worst purchases I ever did. And number 2 is also an Amazon Basic. It's a camera hand clutch. I just got this from Peak Design to put on your camera. Before getting it from Peak Design, I bought it from Amazon Basic, and that broke immediately. Thank you for watching. Consider subscribing. Bye.